learn, as I said, things about yourself. It's certainly, yeah, been a good how many years?
I lost count.
Forefront because to his cheeky energy, but all of a sudden he appears to have transformed. And Kate, and what took place behind closed doors or doors, would he have been told to behave by someone, or is there something else going on? Let us get to the bottom of this. For as far as anyone can remember, Prince Louis has been the royal family's little spark of vitality. He began running as soon as he was able to walk, and he took official events and turned them into his own personal playground. Louis was a unique individual, particularly when it came to pulling goofy expressions in front of the media or breaking royal convention in a humorous manner. Louis appeared to embrace his own colorful personality, in contrast to his older brothers Prince George and Princess Charlotte, who effortlessly assimilated to the traditions of the royal family. The mass of people adored it. During Queen Elizabeth's Platinum Jubilee, his pranks became viral on the internet. Who could forget the way he mingled with the crowd in a humorous manner, or the way he covered his ears in annoyance as aircraft roared overhead? It was not only that he was a prince, he was also a genuine child who was unfiltered and full of life. However, something has changed since then. Prince Louis, who was formerly very freewheeling and mischievous, has suddenly become more quiet. His presence, which was formerly vibrant and humorous, was notably subdued. There is a different picture that emerges from recent public appearances. He maintains his composure for photographs, behaves impeccably, and only occasionally displays the vivacious energy that formerly set him apart. The transformation is something that Kate and William are experiencing, and it is emotional for them. Despite the fact that he was the one who kept their home full of fun and commotion, their youngest son appears to be maturing at an unprecedented rate. Is this simply a sign of maturity, or is there something else at play here? It appeared like a transformation that would only be brief at first. It's possible that he was simply exhausted or getting used to a new routine, but as the months went by, it became very evident. The change of Prince Louis was not merely a passing phase. When he was younger, the youngster who was known for his unpredictable behavior in public suddenly stood with poise and dignity just like his elder siblings. Recent royal outings were marked by his immaculate royal etiquette, which consisted of sitting still, listening intently, and standing motionless. Kate and William were taken aback by the unexpected. For many years they had been attempting to strike a balance between the demands of royal life and the desire to provide their children with a typical upbringing. They fostered Louis's individuality and allowed him to be the child he was, which was one of a fun and free-spirited nature. But all of a sudden that vitality appeared to diminish, or was it the product of training received by royals? To what extent had he been instructed to alter his behavior, or had he simply become more conscious of how other people perceived him? Due to the striking nature of the transition, even the general population took note. Comments on social media were swamped with people expressing how different he appeared to be. Other people were concerned that he had lost the charisma that made him so well liked, while others believed that it was a sign of maturity on his part. It is said that Kate in particular has had a difficult time adapting to the change. There was a time when she made a joke about Louis being the most difficult to control, but she secretly cherished his wild energy. As I watched him grow so serious in such a short amount of time, I had the impression that something was vanishing. According to people who are not affiliated with the royal family, Kate and William have been affected emotionally by the shift that has occurred in their youngest son. Once upon a time, Louis was the child that would fill the hallways with laughter as he ran from room to room, keeping his parents and siblings on their toes. However, as of late, even within the confines of the palace, that high-energy presence has become more subdued. Despite the fact that he continues to take pleasure in playing, there is a discernible change. With less running, there will be fewer unexpected surprises. One might almost say that he is making a conscious effort to reduce his weight. Reminiscing about the days when Louis would run around the gardens laughing and having no cares in the world is something that Kate, who is known for her hands-on parenting style, finds herself doing occasionally. The fleeting moments that were once so taxing now feel like they are priceless. William is concerned about Kate's situation despite the fact that he is aware that children develop in that way. Is it possible that Louis's growing sense of self-consciousness was caused by something Insiders within the royal family believe that as Louis gets older, he may be coming to terms with the significance of his position. Because of this, he is now aware of how his activities are being observed and discussed by people all over the world. It's possible that he made the decision to change his behavior or that he was told to do so by someone else. There is one thing that is certain regardless of the reason, and that is the fact that the fun and unpredictable Louis is changing and his parents are feeling the loss. Those who follow the royal family have been quick to notice Louis's shift, and their responses have been more or less mixed. Many people who have been supporters of the royal family for a long time believe that the transformation came about too quickly. The small boy who was the center of attention at formal ceremonies is still remembered by them. Whoever was responsible for giving the royal image a more personal quality. When people observe him acting in such a manner, they question whether he was given instructions to behave differently. There are many who believe that it is merely a natural part of maturing. It is inevitable that every youngster will finally outgrow their wild phase, and perhaps this is Louis's turn. Some others believe that there is something that is not quite right, as if his change was not quite natural. It's possible that the palace is planning to cast him in a more significant position. Could he be said to have been given stringent orders to alter his behavior? There has been a lot of conjecture going on social media, and some people have even suggested that Louis's change was a deliberate act. It is a means by which the royal family might portray an image that is more composed. While these are merely hypotheses, there is one thing that cannot be refuted. The world will no longer recognize Prince Louis as the same child it once did. Each of the children from Wales plays a distinct part in the group. It is with grace that Prince George, the future king, carries the weight of the expectations placed upon him. Princess Charlotte is the middle kid who is always poised and mature beyond her years. She is the peaceful and composed child you would expect. In addition, there was Louis, who was a surge of energy that made every occurrence unpredictable. However, as a result of his rapid transition, the dynamic within the family has changed. Charlotte, who frequently served as Louis's guide at occasions, appears to be less required anymore. In the past, she would be the one to gently urge him to behave in a different manner. Without a doubt, Louis is already placing himself in the queue. George, who has a relationship with Louis that is less tense, has also noted the shift in the relationship. He used to find his younger brother's antics to be hilarious, but these days they have fewer opportunities to play together. Even within the household, the energy that Louis typically brought, which was once tumultuous, has become more subdued. This is a development but there is still the most important question: is this simply the result of maturation, or is there anything more fundamental that has caused this transformation? Despite the fact that they are members of the royal family, Kate has always been a modern royal mother who encourages her children to enjoy normal experiences. She wished for Louis to experience the straightforward pleasures that come with being a youngster. As they ran through the grounds making a mess with arts and crafts and laughing freely, they were laughing. On the other hand, she is currently observing how he naturally conforms to royal expectations. It's a bittersweet experience for me as a mother. Despite the fact that she is pleased to witness his development, she longs for the carefree young child that he used to be. According to those around her, Kate has been more contemplative as of late. It is important to treasure the light-hearted moments that occur anytime Louis relaxes his guard at home. However, she is aware that living a royal life comes with some duties. On the other hand, she does not want Louis to get overly engrossed with tradition. She expresses her thoughts to William. On the other hand, he is of the opinion that Louis's change is merely a natural consequence of maturation. Kate receives reassurance from him that their son's spirit is still alive. Simply put, it is developing. Kate, however, is a little bit curious. Is Louis really starting to mature, or is he already being molded into a different person by his upbringing as a member of the royal family? There is a significant question that is raised by Louis's change. What is the future going to bring for him? Louis's role has always been more adaptable, in contrast to George's, who is squarely in line for the throne. However, may the sudden change in his behavior be an indication that the palace is already preparing him for something more significant? Are we to expect him to follow in Charlotte's footsteps? Do you plan to take on additional responsibility during royal events? Is it possible that he will ultimately show his playful side again? What is certain is one thing: The public is keeping a close eye on the situation. They are continuing to show their support for their son for the time being. We are guiding him through this time while also hope that he would never lose the spark that makes him so unique. A lot of people are wondering what is actually going on behind the scenes because of the shift that Prince Louis has undergone. Were these changes brought about by nothing more than the natural maturation of a young child, or was there another factor that played a role? The royal family has throughout the course of many years maintained a harmony between tradition and a more contemporary approach to parenting. In spite of the great expectations that have been put on their children, Kate and William have always placed a strong emphasis on providing them with as much of a regular existence as they possibly can. People are perplexed by the abrupt transformation that Louis has undergone. At such a tender age, does he already sense the pressure that comes with living a royal lifestyle? There are innumerable hypotheses. The belief that Louis was simply instructed to behave differently is held by some. There is a possibility that someone within the palace may have cautioned him carefully about his tendency to entertain himself. When everything is said and done, the royal family is a family that relies on tradition, and in such a regulated setting, unpredictability is not always appreciated. Some people are of the opinion that Louis himself has developed a greater awareness of how other people view him. It is possible that he has begun to become aware of the amount of attention that is paid to his activities as he has grown older. When he comes to terms with the fact that the public pays attention to every single thing he does, simply being aware of this could have prompted him to use greater caution, causing him to modify his behavior without even being informed of the alterations. But there are some who disagree. Some followers believe that this is merely a normal part of the process of maturing, that each and every child will eventually grow up and become independent. The argument that they are making is that Louis' change is not anything that should cause concern. This is nothing more than him moving into a new stage of his life. So, what are your thoughts on this matter? Is it possible that Prince Louis was instructed to make a change? Or do you believe that this is simply the normal process of him maturing? Post your thoughts in the comments section below. Your opinions are very much appreciated by us. If you found this narrative to be entertaining, you should definitely watch our following movie, which contains even more surprises that are fit for a king or queen.